A very good day to you folks. Welcome to Speed Gaming 4 and welcome to the A Link to the Past daily race, randomizer daily race. We got a good one for you today, folks. For today, we have casual boots as our settings today. And today on Restream, we have Dapper Warman, Smirk JD, Hydropower, and Sandra's 316. They will be showing off their stuff for you here on this Friday afternoon. I'm Captain ND, and I hope you folks will join me in another fantastic day of randomizer. With that being said, this is a casual boot seed, so it is still 7-7 defeat Ganon, but at the same time, our runners do start with a sword and Pegasus boots. It'll be a standard start, and since we start with a sword, the Uncle item will still be fully randomized. So, here's hoping. That being said, the race has been kicked off in the race time room, and we will get started in just a moment here. Now, the nice advantage of this being early boots is things are going to go nice and fast right off the gate. We'll see if the uncle has any fancy lines to give us today as well. We are being graced with A Link to the Brass is the MSU pack we're currently listening to today. This is from Dapper's side. Hi there. Hello to you too, and hello to you, chat. Alright, so our first item is 3 bombs. Definitely want to see a bomb before we head to the back of Escape. Excellent first item. Yeah, right off the bat, everybody going straight to Hyrule Castle. Not a whole lot else you can do in a standard start, to be perfectly honest. That being said, our uncle gives us 50 bucks. Alright, so we've got money, we've got bombs, we've got a good amount of starting items to at least get the early checks out of the way. Also, it's going to be hard to tell Dapper Warman away from the difference between Dapper Warman and the guards. But hey-ho. Alright, so we have several items coming up here in the in Zelda Cell. Or not Zelda Cell, basement of Hyrule Castle. Is that a Mimikyu on Smirk's screen? Totally is. Alright, we get some arrows. Not a whole lot going on there, unfortunately. Alright, runners will be making their way into the boomerang chest. See if we can get a unique item here. So far, not a whole lot of actual progression items in this first couple of minutes, rather. To answer your question, chat, we have got 6 racers in our race time room on this Friday afternoon. We're now going to see Zelda Cell after a mildly difficult battle with the gray ball and chain guard. Dapper Warman going for the up-close and personal strategy with the sword, and Smirk and Hydra electing to use a pot to get a head start. And is awarded with just a map. I don't think Dapper meant to take a death there. Okay, never mind. It just puts you back in the cell. Not the most consequential death out there. That being said, it does give Hydra the lead here in this escape by just a couple seconds here over Smirk. Now, as far as festivities that I am hoping to see this time around in the seed, you know, I wouldn't mind a good old pet seed. It's Pegasus boots start, so runners are already going fast. We gotta slow the seed down just a little bit. That being said, last race I comped had a good chance of a pet seed, and it ended up not being the case. and I was mildly disappointed. I hope for that to be not the case this time around. Alright, first runner past withdrawal room is going to be Hydropower, followed again very closely by Smirk. But it looks like all runners are going to be entering the tunnels within about 15 seconds of each other. Alright, Dark Cross is unfortunately just another red rupee, so unfortunately, despite the entirety of this escape sequence, we have not found any unique items, nothing of particularly good use to us except for a few bombs. That being said, we've got another 3 items coming up. We've seen the map and key already, so these should all be unique. We got a 20 bucks, hammer and flute. There we go. Patience pays off, folks. So yeah, immediate flute for Kakariko, that's always a good thing. Hammer, a very good offensive weapon. And that green 20 in particular, I believe that's just a substitute for the boots. It's not like where the boots would be in logic or anything of that nature, it's just a 20 that is put in its place. And we get more bombs in the Sanctuary, so now it's off to Hyrule. We got our overworld map check, and we've got 3 Light World crystals, with Hera being a red crystal. Alright, we're going to see the boots checks immediately from Hydropower. We get a bottle with a fairy. That's going to be a great extra check in Kakariko. This is looking like a very fast cat here. Alright, looks like we got a tree pull. That looked to be green rupees, and I want to say that is the tier 1 question mark, but we got 8 bombs off of the bush crab, so no need to worry about bomb refills today. What is that on... Oh, I could not see what that was on Lumberjack Ledge. Heart Container. Never mind. Alright, Dapper deciding to go straight for the Lost Woods, picks up a red rupee. Hydropower will be following suit momentarily. On the mushroom spot, we had a heart piece. So we're going to see our runners dip into Kakariko, and with over 100 rupees, we got another tree pull, this time containing blue rupees. I believe that's the tier 2. Actually, that might be the 3, because Hydra hasn't gotten hit since. Alright, Blind's Hideout, our first stop by Dapper Wormman. But yeah, we're going to basically be able to clear all of Kak in one shot here. We've got a red boomerang, 50 bucks, Master Sword, we're definitely not going to say no to that, and some bombs. Alright, the Master Sword's probably the big part of that. And there's a glove. So we've got glove and a hammer already, folks. It is looking like an early Dark World. We just need either Titan's Mitts, we need either a Moon... Yeah, we just need a Moon Pearl, not even Titan's Mitts. Dapper performing a clean dash to get over to the bottom of the well. And also in the well is more money, even more money, and some blueberries. So we are getting some cash for Zora, which is now in logic courtesy of that glove, but unfortunately, not a whole lot else we can do at the moment in that neighborhood. That being said, folks, please rise if able and remove your Minish caps for the A Link to the Past National Anthem. We also got a shield in the bottom of the well, so yeah, the shield's okay, but not really anything that we're looking for. Alright, Chicken Hut is another 10 arrows. Okay, can we get a bow, please, so we can use those? We must have gotten like 5 arrow packs already. I lost count at 3, that's for sure. We are going to get a sick kid check here, courtesy of that early bottle, and it's a heart piece. The bottle with a fairy on standby is really nice, though, because it is still early game, and no one's picked up an extra heart container, so just in case you need that heal in your pocket, it's there. Green rupee in the back of the tavern. So yeah, the only thing we can do in the Zor neighborhood is unfortunately King Zor himself, so not a whole lot else we can do in that neighborhood. That being said, South Shore should be pretty wide open. That's a nice, very convenient half magic on the in the library. So it looks like our runners, offensive-wise at least, are going to be in pretty good shape here. Master Sword, half magic. No particularly good heavy weapons to use that magic bar on, but even still. You might not want to leave yet, Dapper. That is a Moon Pearl on the race game. I would believe, folks, we can safely call that a Stackerico. What do we get? Glove, red boomerang for a stun option, Master Sword. We were able to activate Flute in one pass. This is looking pretty good, folks. Alright, our runners will now have fun exploring pretty much the entire world looking for their stuff. And let's see where Dapper goes. Dapper's going south to do the dam checks and whatnot. Oh, skipping the dam, interestingly. Going straight for Mini Moon Cave. And Smirk is going to the Dark World. Here we go. Here's some divergence, folks. Here's our pendants, by the way. Green Pendant Mire, Pendant Cod, and Pendant Skull Woods. And our second red crystal is Ice Palace. I saw a can of Burna in the dam. Nothing of extreme importance in the meantime from Mini Moon Cave. Looks like, yep, nothing whatsoever. But we're gonna get a Hike Cave check. First item, 300 bucks. Definitely not going to say no to that. The Single Arrow of Destiny, the Quake Medallion, a red rupee, and a heart container. Not a particularly hype cave, but I'm sure runners aren't going to say no to that 300. There is a bottle that was flooded inside the dam. So Burna and a second bottle. That's a very good dam. Certainly appears that bottles are not an issue this time around, but Smirk is going to make a play for the pyramid, it looks like. So yeah, with this equipment, yeah, we've got Hammer and Invincibility, so Spike Cave is open. Interesting interesting thing to be putting logic all the way up in Death Mountain. We do have some Death Mountain access at this point. That was an interesting portal transition noise. And Hydra's looks like to be the only runner at the moment going to Ice Rod Cave, with Sandra's following suit here. Dapper is done with Hype Cave, and there was a lamp in Ice Rod Cave. Excuse me. That's a lamp in Ice Rod Cave, so that is really good for a fire source right now, because we are still missing one. Oh, looks like Smirk just checked Catfish. I'll check what that is in the playback real quick. It is blueberries. Hydra is going to go for Eastern and Sahastra at the very least. Sahasra's Closet, we have the Mushroom, a second 3 hundo pack, and a red rupee. Alright, so money definitely no longer an issue. It certainly feels like Thieves Town's probably your next stop if you're already in the Dark World. It is a crystal, you can full clear it. But Hydra's gonna go ahead and turn in that mushroom immediately, as Sanders goes ahead and rescues the old man and receives the heart piece. Where's trouble? Looks like Dapper's been taking a little bit of punishment on the way up to Catfish here, but manages to get around it for now. Now, on top of Spectacle Rock, we have the 10 bomb pack. So Sanders is turning for Kakariko. This is probably a Village of Outcasts / Thieves Town play. Which, yeah, this play, I think, makes the most sense right now, just because of how much is in that area, and it's a pretty dense area that could be full cleared. Save for the Smith Chain. Alright, looks like anybody who hasn't already been to Ice Rod Cave is heading in that direction now to go grab Lamp. Ooh, but Gina's Cave in the meantime has a Bombos Medallion. That is an advanced fire source. That's going to do us some favors if Ice Palace becomes an issue. Oh, and was that a shirt on Hylia Island? I believe it was. Indeed. But yeah, we're seeing our runners take full advantage of those boots here. Dapper and Smirk are water walking in order to grab Bridge Guy, check Waterfall Fairy. And in Waterfall Fairy, we find the other green rupee and, unfortunately, a heart container restoring heart piece for Smirk. Although, luckily, with the water walk setup, it's not a big deal for Smirk. What was that on Zorledge? Was that another bottle? It's probably not going to get picked up if it is. Yeah, it's an empty bottle. Zora, on the other hand, has for us a heart piece. Scammed. Can Pet even have anything? Question in chat. Let's think this through for a minute. Let's see. Where are our pets again? Skull, Fire, and Pod? Pet could have Hookshot. That's about it. That's what comes to mind immediately. Flippers. Could be on Pet. A medallion. If it's Ether. Mirror could be on Ped. There's a handful of things that can be on Ped. Haven't noticed any major items yet come out of Skull Woods. Hydra's gonna go ahead and do an early dig game here. 2 digs for a heart container. I'd say that's a pretty solid dig game. If not for the item, then at least for the 2 digs. Oh, we got a very much required ice rod in Skullwood, so yep, dipping your pendant dungeons is worth today. Sandra's and Dapper both take it. Unfortunately, by itself, not going to do us any good, as that Gibdo decides to just have a ball. But yeah, with what is effectively a bit of an overworld check out of the way for Dapper, Sandra's soon to be following suit here. We're going to be seeing our bumper ledge checks from Dapper, probably soon after to be Village of Outcasts and Thieves Town. Smirk, on on the other hand, is going to give us Spike Cave, and with half magic and Cane of Burna, that is not a hard check whatsoever. Alright, I missed what was on Bumper Ledge, but Spike Cave is rupees. Hydra is going for Paradox Cave. We got a Titan's Mitt in the back of the C-shaped house. Hang on a minute, where did Hydra find Hookshot? Because I was just about to realize, wait a minute, how can you get to Paradox Cave without a Hookshot or a mirror? And looks like Hydra found one while I wasn't looking. There's the Ether Medallion in Paradox Cave, so medallions are off the table now for Pedestal. Alright, we got chess minigame coming up, and it's 10 sticks. There's 10 arrows, rather, on the floating island. And it looks like Hydra's gonna take this all the way to Tower of Hera. Alright, that is a progressive shield in Hera's pantry. Followed by the big key, so we're not necessarily fire-locked out of Hera, not that it matters for Hydra, since he's currently packing a hookshot for Hera Pot and a lamp just in case the basement has an item anyway. Alright, so far not a whole lot going on in this Thieves Town. There's the Hera basement small key. And there's our first item in Hera. That's our second item in Hera. That's a red rupee, so there's not an item in Hera basement. What's our other red crystal? Ice? Ooh. With Titans, Hookshot, and Bombos Medallion, you could fake Flipper Ice. Interesting. We may see Hydra go for that, depending on how things play out, and Moldorb just claimed his first victim of the day. Alright, what's in Thieves Town's rooftop? A hard container, I think. Oh, that's the Sank Heart, no less. Alright, I lost count of how many items were in Thieves Town, besides the two that I know about, that red rupee and the hard container. I don't think we've seen anything else, at least not yet. And we know Moldorm doesn't have anything, so that is going to be first blood for Hydra Power. Ooh, Sandra's taking, I think, an accidental KO there. Interestingly, Dapper did not get the item in Blind Cell. We must have miscounted items because Dapper must know there's nothing left. Got a little argumentative there at the end, but Dapper takes out for a compass. And yeah, our runners must have been counting items. They must have found everything. Alright, so Hydra is going to take... interesting. Hydra's heading in the direction of Magic Bat. Oh yeah, must have found powder somewhere too. Sorry folks, we're missing all this interesting stuff that Hydra's picking up here. Unfortunately, Magic Bat is a boomerang. Alright, Sandra's having a little trouble with blind, so improvises with Cane of Ferna. Well, we're finding a lot of stuff here, chat. We are now currently looking for Flippers, Fire Rod, as far as what we know. Flippers, Fire Rod, Cane, and Bow. And Mirror. So we're still looking for a few things. Alright, Sandra's making the rest of the Village of Outcasts checks. Unfortunately, we don't get to hear more Link to the Brass for that tune because the dig game is over so quickly with only 2 digs. But with Titans in tow, Dapper has the convenience of being able to route in Smith Chain here after this Thieves Town play. Is there anything else that Titans gives us right away? Titans does give us Dark Death Mountain stuff, but Hydra couldn't have been in that direction for too long without picking those Titansmiths besides Spike Cave. That being said, it doesn't look like Stumpy has anything of extreme note either, so... we're done there. Oh, never mind, Stumpy had the hook shot. That would explain where Hydra picked it up from. I thought it was an arrow for some reason. But with Flute and Mitts, they could check the Mire Shed. Checkerboard Cave, not so much. They could get into Mire. They could do everything in Mire up to the boss key door. Since there's a hook and boots somewhere along the line. Yeah, Sandra's taking that hook shot to East Death Mountain, gonna pick up Quake. And it looks like Dapper's next port of call is gonna be Eastern Palace, or at the very least the Hospital. No runners did Eastern yet. Most likely due to the lack of bow. So Sandra's is done with East Death Mountain now and is also taking the Smith on a world tour. And we are seeing Dapper fake Flipper here. This is probably a Rush Ice. Oh, no, it's a Zora area check, never mind. I wonder if after this we're going to see a Rush Ice, though. Actually, in Dapper's case, no Bombos or Fire Rod yet, so that's probably a no. Alright, Smirk getting Hook. That Hook was in Logic pretty early, too, because that came right after Dark World. Interesting. Alright, Dapper's gonna go get scammed. Alright, so runner's not checking anything immediately new. And it looks like Dapper is safe scumming the mushroom for the purpose of checking, possibly doing fake powder later. Now, we know that ultimately isn't necessary since powder did show up. And Sandras is going to be going to pick up Bamos here, as Smirk picks up Ether. Interesting, Sanders went to East Death Mountain to get Quake, but didn't pick up... Hang on a minute, I think I'm getting my medallions mixed up here. As somebody who doesn't run this, I'm not sure what the best play is. If flippers are your only go mode, unfortunately with Swampy and Crystal, that's pretty much impossible. Okay, and it is Ether for Meyer, so we could go in there and do everything up to the boss key door. We do get another sword in the Meyer shed. So we are now running Tempered, so we're looking pretty good on the offensive front here. The defensive front, we've gotten a handful of heart containers, but we're still on green mail, and the other one, the one mail that we know of is currently mirror locked. Oh right, Quick was in Hype Cave. Ether was up here in Paradox. So yeah, medallions are pretty free today. Unfortunately, in our current state, none of the other dungeons are full clearable. So you have a tough choice to make here. You're either dipping a pendant dungeon, odd probably being the most likely one in this case, or you are fake flippering and rushing ice, after which you can then go check Pyramid Fairy. Or you're dipping green pendant Mire to check for 2 items before the big key door. So unfortunately, none of these options are particularly appealing if you're a runner. I'm just now realizing Sandras is using, is that the Adventure Peach sprite from Mario Odyssey? I just realized, I think that's... Is that the tiara on... Yeah, I think it is. Either that or I'm just imagining things, and chat can prove me wrong. Oh no, it's not Adventure. It's not Adventure. It is a Peach sprite, but it's not Adventurer. Anywho, in the meantime, runners still wrapping up their East Death Mountain and Terra checks. We're gonna see what the Turtle Rock medallion is, as well as we get a Dark Death Mountain check from Hydra and Smurf. And it's Ether for Turtle Rock 2. So, yep, looks like Ether's the medallion of choice here, which was very conveniently found in Death Mountain. Unfortunately, without Kane, we can't really do anything in this dungeon. So, Tools, Turtle Rock, we'll be back for you later. Much later. We're getting our Super Bunny Cave check from Smirk, which is a heart container and a shovel. Alright, well, that might become important in a bit. It seems our runners are all grouping up here in Death Mountain as well. Alright, we got Hookshot Cave coming up now. We start with a blue rupee. Butter Sword. Tempered for Smirk. Our bow. Pod is definitely a good idea right now. Followed by another blue rupee. So yeah, we have a bow, chat. So that gives us 2 full clearable dungeons now. Pod and Easter. And I think that's what we're going to see people start heading into at this point. That is a much more appealing play than dipping a pendant dungeon. Looks like Smirk is going for Eastern first here. After clearing out King's Tomb. But we'll see if we get a portal transition anyways. There was powder. It was in Spiral Cave. Alright, and yeah, Dapper's going to be heading in the eastern direction as well, right behind Smirk here. Hydra is going for the shovel. And the shovel reveals the flippers. Wow, fetch quest items coming into play, folks. A lot of options just got put on the table here. We now have a full clearable pod, a full clearable eastern, and a full clearable swamp. Actually, no, swamp needs mirror. Never mind. I keep forgetting that. Ice, on the other hand, we could full clear. Since we have advanced fire, and I doubt our runners are going to need to worry too much about hookshot and cane logic when it comes to ice. With that being said, our runners are pretty much all converging on Eastern Palace here, which does seem like the better play right now. It is a full clearable crystal dungeon, so no sense in not getting this out of the way while you're in the neighborhood. So yeah, after this, it's either Pendant Pod or Pendant Mire. And right now, Pendant Pod's the one with the, 5 items, so that's the one with the better density, that's for sure. Alright, so how are runners looking on swords? So Sandra's just got butter. The swords that Dapper and Smirk are missing are from Mire Chat. Alright, early big key means early big chest, but it's a map, so we probably need to go check the vanilla big key chest. Alright, so while we have a minute here as our runners are trudging through Eastern, candidates for pedestal at this point. Let's see. Mirror. Not Fire Rod. I think actually that's just it. Mirror and or book. for Desert Palace access, because Book could lead to Mirror in this case. As unlikely as it seems. Alright, Dapper Wormman, our first runner to make his way over to the Eastern Palace boss. Right now our go mode is just Mirror, Cane, and Fire Rod. Fire Rod can't be on Ped though, because Skull was dependent. That Skulltula went, "Get down, Mr. Igor statue." Fire Rod could be on Laser Bridge if the key layout is correct, but we still gotta get a cane before that shows up. Ooh, looks like Dapper missed the quick kill here, so has to improvise. Still manages to pull the win off of that one, gets his third crystal rather of the day. Hydra though nailing the quick kill right on Dapper's heels. Yep, Dapper's fake flippering again. This looks to be a mushroom check. Not quite sure why Dapper wouldn't just flute to 2 in this. Oh wait, no. What is Dapper doing here? Checking Lumberjack Ledge? Looks to be what he's doing. Alright, Dapper's gonna go get Butter Sword, and we'll see if he dips Mire after this. I don't think so. It's not really the best play out there. It would be a gamble play if you did that at this point, given that you have access to a full clearable pod. Hydra, on the other hand, is taking the Zora portal here. I don't believe Hydra's been to this neighborhood yet, so this is going to be... Hydra might even get the third bottle here, if he's so inclined. And indeed, Dapper is going to open up Mire. We'll see if this turns into a dip here. Alright, yeah, Dapper's gonna take the gamble and dip Pendant Mire. So yeah, there's 2 items in Mire, all of which should be in front of, besides Viddy, should be in front of the big key door. So we will see how this plays out, and if any of the 2 items are... If we happen to get a French Vanilla or a Vanilla Cane, that is going to be a big break for Dapper. No, and of course it's a Godmire too. There's the big key. Alright, next chest is a small key. Yep, totally a Godmire. Looks like Smirk is opening up the door to Misery Mire as well. Hydra, on the other hand, is taking the Ocarina of Time route and rushing ice. Yeah, this is a full clearable ice palace, so we'll see how this plays out for all of our runners, because, yeah, there's a good chance well, not necessarily a good chance in Mire, but either of these could play out possibly in their favor, but it depends on what is in here. So far, nothing of extreme note. Alright, Mire Big Chest. Another small key. That's already 2 out of 3 Mire small keys. And would you look at that? That is a French vanilla cane of Somaria in green pendant misery Mire. The gamble definitely paying off for Dapper, and Smirk should soon be following suit here. Alright, with this, Turtle Rock is open. Whoops. And there's the other item in Mire. It's 300 rupees. So nothing else of note here besides the green pendant, but at the same time, Dapper, I'm sure, not too unhappy to find that cane of Samaria where it was. Yeah, with cane being in a pendant Mire, that is a very tough sell for our other runners. Sandra, Zed, Hydra both deciding to go for ice at the moment. Ooh, that projectile just missed the switch. Alright, Iced H Room gives us a small key. There's our big key as well. Unfortunately, no cane for either of our right side runners, so they will not have the luxury of being able to ice break for the time being. Dapper a little lower on health than I'm sure he'd like to have for this mini fight. Nevertheless, he's just going to improvise with cane and Butter Sword. And that's going to be green pendant for Dapper. We'll see if this turns into anything even more valuable for this Mire play. We get a red rupee and iced tea room. I believe that's our first item in ice. Fire Rod Pet, unfortunately, is impossible today because Skull Woods is a pendant. As far as what could be on pedestal, we're still looking for mirror or book, leading to mirror. There's another item in ice. It's a heart container in the big chest. And now we're going to see Dapper go turn in that green pendant immediately while Smirk goes for pendant pod. Now Smirk, it should be noted, busted out of Mire without going to Biddy. So we'll see if this green pendant is anything of importance here, which if it is, that is going to give Dapper another big break. It is not. It is bomb, so Smirk not currently being punished for this maneuver here. There's our third item out of Ice Palace. It is the Fire Rod. Hydra apparently had that already. So So yeah, with that, folks, Fire Rod has been found. Have fun practically full clearing the game looking for Mirror. Yeah, a mirror hunt is kind of difficult here. A few overworld checks are knocked out. The entirety of Swamp is knocked out. But yeah, this is gonna be possibly a pretty rough mirror hunt, folks. Now, that being said, we're getting dependent pod play from Smirk, and it looks like nothing of note so far. There's a compass, and Hydra is in fact going to go ahead and take that big bomb straight to Pyramid Fairy. And get a small key. Smirk, rather, gets a small key. Alright, Sandra's is wrapping up ice here. Did pick up Fire Rod. Oh, and Dapper says, nah, I'm good. I'll come back. I don't care about Spike Cave. Reset. Alright, here's our Pyramid Fairy check. Both side of pod gives us a small key. Pyramid Fairy gives us a heart piece and bombs. Second bow chest and pod gives bombs. And Dapper, with all of that equipment in hand, is now going to deal with Ice Palace and retrieve that Fire Rod. Now, at this particular point, as far as where I want Mirror, I personally want Mirror to be, I wouldn't mind Laser Bridge, considering we can now full clear Turtle Rock. Unfortunately, Hydra and Sandra's do need to eventually think about heading towards Mire in order to pick up that cage. And chat brings up a good point. Because Fire Rod was found in Ice Palace, Agina's Cave Bombos Medallion is hard required this scene. Alright, Harmless Hellway, we get a big key. Alright, just outside the big chest, we get a heart piece and pod. And the Book of Medora, we have Desert Palace access. And once again, have fun full clearing the whole game looking for Mirror. Yeah, folks, this is what we call a casino, where it does not matter. It really just comes down to where is this item and who finds it first. For our runners at this point, it's going to take a little luck. On Desert Ledge, we have a red rupee. I was going to say a heart piece, but that is not a heart piece. That is the red rupee. Alright, Smirk going for the desert play. See if this yields Mirror. Dapper has also picked up Fire Rod now and is going to be probably on his way to Cold Stare. Sanders has elected to bust out of pod without taking the pendant, which means he must have counted his items and found all of them. Smirk just didn't want to get the last one on Helm the Sword King. Desert Palace Big Chest is a small key. Smirk not going for the right side of Desert, at least not yet, and is instead electing to go straight for Lambolas. Meanwhile, Dapper has a pretty flawless cold stare and gets crystal number 4. His second red crystal. Alright, that being said, we're getting more checks from... let's see where Sandra's deciding to go here. This may be a Skull Woods play. There was, I think, still one item left. We could be routing this into a... Sandra wouldn't route this into a pet check. This might just be a bumper ledge check and a purple chest check. Yeah, Sanders and Hydra still very keen on staying away from Meyer, which unfortunately is going to work to their detriment. Smirk, in the meanwhile, not having too much trouble with Lambolas and gets his 4th crystal. And it looks like Dapper's going to take all of this gear and probably clear out Total Rock. Now, Dapper at this point is still currently looking for flippers, which are behind the shovel. So he hasn't gone back to the dig spot yet. Now, luckily, the flippers are very close to Swamp, so it's not the biggest deal of when Dapper decides to route it in, because Swamp is the final go mode dungeon anyway, given we're looking for Mirror. So Dapper not exactly losing a tremendous amount of time by not having those flippers at the moment. Does find the silver arrows, though, the second bow upgrade in Turtle Rock. Dapper, to answer a question, chat, I think fake flippered ice? Might have not fake flippered ice. We'll double check when he opens his pause menu. Alright, Total Rock Fire section has a key and a key. This might be a God Turtle Rock here too, if the big key comes up in a reasonable spot. Now that being said, we unfortunately, once again, are still looking for stuff. Unfortunately, I missed if Smirk checked right side desert. There's the big key. Yeah, this is looking like what could have been a pretty fast TR if we weren't still looking for things. Smirk check right side desert. Okay, thank you, Hugo. Alright, Smirk is now going to clear ice and be rewarded with a fire rod. And there's a map, so vanilla big key chest, nothing important today. But I'm sure runners aren't going to say no to those silver arrows at this point. Alright, Smirk getting a fairly fast icebreaker here for the Ice Palace Big Key. And we're gonna get a Mimic Cave check, so yeah, all eyes on Dapper for the moment to see if we can find this mirror. We had a few guesses earlier in the stream for Laser Bridge. I said Laser Bridge too, so if I end up calling this right, I'm gonna be annoyed because I kind of want it to be on a pedestal still. Alright, still no sign of it. Ooh, that cane shot whiffed, but Dapper recovers quite nicely. Dapper trying to preserve health here, pulling out the cave to dodge those fire bars. Let's see, what's Hydra missing? Hydra's missing Ice Rod, which was in Skull Woods, question mark? Yeah, it was in a pendant dungeon. Yeah, it's Skull Woods. Alright, nothing of note on Laser Bridge just yet. Yep, nothing on Laser Bridge, so now it's off to Trinex, so we've seen the map and compass, so Trinex does have an item. Looks like Hydra's going back to Skull Woods here. Or heading to Skull Woods, rather. This is going to be his first dive, which is going to get him Ice Rod. Ooh, Dapper took an immediate KO to Trinex, but luckily I think does still have the reserve fairy. Ouch. Green mail, folks. Yeah, good thing all of our runners picked up that safety fairy from their first model. That being said, Dapper finishes the Trinex fight and is rewarded with his 5th crystal. Which also, by the way, had the mirror. Nice. That is unfortunately not go mode for Dapper yet, I don't think. Unless I'm mistaking things. Actually, if Dapper's picking up blue potions, then he probably has flippers, and we probably missed it. No? Maybe. Yeah, probably. Wow, that's not a great spot for Mirror. I mean, it's in the vicinity of Laser Bridge, but it's not exactly Laser Bridge. You know what? Since the key was required to get in the back, I'm just gonna say it's behind Laser Bridge. Close enough. Smirk, in the meantime, getting a red rupee from the Ether Tablet. Okay, yeah, Dapper does have flippers. So yeah, this does put Dapper definitely in go mode. Book is no longer required in his end since he can just mirror to Desert Palace. So yeah, Swamp and Desert, fairly fast go mode dungeons as well, since the big key is right in the front for Desert. But yeah, so French Vanilla Cane and Misery Mire, and a mirror on Trinex. So yeah, even for a casual boot seed, that is still pretty rude. Especially because mirrors go mode in this scenario. I mean, the remaining options collectively weren't that great. It was Helmasaur King, Pedestal. Actually, but collectively, the runners did cleared off everything pretty quickly. But yeah, with nothing being in Pendant Pod, anybody who did that dip unfortunately lost a considerable amount of time. Seeing Dapper perform Diver Down Glitch to check, to not even check anything here in the back of Swamp, just going straight to Argus. And Helmasaur King, we've discovered now, has bombs. Sanders takes, that is going to be his first crystal, first pendant, excuse me. Smirk is now also going through Total Rocket. This is going to be the right direction for him. This is going to net a mirror right behind Dapper. Has about the same amount of work left to do, actually a little less work to do than Dapper, as he's already cleared the desert. That being said, Dapper does still have the lead over Smirk at this point, since he's got to go all the way to Trinex to pick up that mirror first. Argus, meanwhile, has the last shield. But with that, there is one more dungeon left for Dapper to deal with, and that is Desert Palace, which luckily that's an easy fleet to 6 rather to deal with. Can Hydropower hover? I do not know the answer to that question, unfortunately. Yeah, Dapper's gonna get the big key here, luckily, and be able to cruise right to the end of this dungeon. And Hydra is now making the move to Mire, which is going to be netting him his cane. Prime position for a bird toss here. And will that happen? Hydropower's answer to that question is no. Instead, we're going to get fried chicken. Runners, I'm noticing Smirk also avoided the firebar damage, definitely trying to preserve health, with green mail still being an issue here in Total Rock. As we saw earlier with Dapper getting utterly hammered by Trinex. Now with Silvers, luckily Landmolus is a joke. Case in point. point. Now that being said, chat, we have a little guessing game we would like to begin at this time, as Dapper has picked up crystal number 7 here. There are 21 chests and 1 torch in the basement of Ganon's tower. So if you would like to get your guesses in between 1 and 22, where you think that Ganon's tower big key is going to be amongst those 22 checks. For me personally, Mirror on Trinex is a little lousy, but I feel like the seat could still go a couple steps further since it was pretty open this time around. I am going to guess 18. So right before Armos on Ice, ideally. Ooh, unfortunately, Sandra's had a little bit of trouble with the fire rod on Lanmolas, so is going to have to improvise a little bit, but luckily gets him in the second cycle. Smirk, on the other hand, gets the KO for Trinex, is awarded with the 6th crystal and the mirror. That being said, Smirchus now has to go and clear Swamp for the ticket to GT. Dapper is about to enter, and at that point, we will cut off our Ganon's Tower big key guesses. Alright, we're gonna get a left side check first from Dapper. And it is a small key. Alright, second chest, small key. Third chest, 10 sticks. Fourth chest, a small key. Fifth chest, blue rupee. And now Dapper elects to go right. And that is a heart container, that is a compass. So it is not 6 or 7. Alright, Smirk continuing to go mode through Swamp without much difficulty. Dapper gets a great punt on that block and checks 8 through 11 rather are 100 rupees, bombs, another 10 sticks, as if we haven't seen enough of those already, and a 300 rupee pack. Alright, now we're going to see some more checks on the left. Double fire bars is 50 bucks. Unfortunately, Boomerang not being the most cooperative with Dapper there, but nevertheless does proceed onward. Hydra picking up silver arrows. Going into Turok does have Kane in tow, so this is going to be go mode for Hydra upon finishing off Trinex. The seat Professor Under, it was okay. Go mode mirror for everybody is on Trinex. Kane was French Vanilla and Misery Mire. Green Pendant Misery Mire at that. Green independent god Misery Meyer, I should also say. Alright, we've got checks, I believe this is 13 through 16 here. Bombs, bug net, arrows, and more money. That might have been 14 through 17. Yeah, because I think Bob's next. Alright, Smirk has just cleared his last dungeon and is going to be now making his way to GT. Hydra almost getting sandwiched by Chain Chomps, being forced to improvise there with Pain of Burna. How you doing, Bob? Looking good today. And it is the big key. That is chest number 18. I swear I didn't call that on purpose. But yeah, now that being said, folks, we're going to be now wrapping up here with Dapper climbing up GT, fighting Aga 2, and fighting Ganon. So it should only be another few more minutes left in this seed. So yeah, not too bad of a seed. Had a little bit of trolling with the mirror, but otherwise it was very open. Almost immediate Dark World access. Flipper's a little bit on the later side. Flippers were behind the shovel, which was in, I want to say Dark Death Mountain. Yeah, Dark Death Mountain has shovel. So yeah, this seed could have been a lot worse. Could have been a bit better, but Mirror Go Mode thankfully does leave out a few spread out locations such as Graveyard Ledge, the entirety of Swamp Palace, K45, Bamos Tablet. Yeah, a lot of checks are left out, thankfully. A lot of spread out checks. Alright, Sandras has picked up Kane, is wrapping up the mini fight for the green pendant. Ooh, Dapper missed the third silver. And whiffed again. That Lambolus is dodgy. Alright, Sandras is now going to go to Turtle Rock and get Mirror, so this is going to be his go mode too. Hydra not too far from Trinex to pick up his Mirror, and set for go mode as well. Both right side runners will be having to just clear out Swamp Palace and then be done. Have a little bit of time here on this GT Ascent here. I do want to give a bit of a plug to things to come here on Speed Gaming. Starting, I believe, this upcoming week, we are going to be starting the Metroid Prime 2 Echoes 2022 Randomizer Tournament. We're going to be starting our first round of Swiss, so we do invite you folks to join us as we kick that off. That will be right here on Speed Gaming channels to be determined once we finally get the rounds kicked off. And Moldorm's last possessions is $20. Now, Dapper's health a little bit on the lower side, but should still be okay, at least for this Aga fight. Has birthed the safety fairy already. Does need to be a wee bit careful here. Could go get a fairy outside the pyramid in the event of an emergency here. real uncooperative here. Oh yeah, that's true. Chad brings up a good point. Dapper did a blue potion. Pretty much the most dangerous thing at this point is a cannon hub. Alright, Dapper having a little bit of trouble there otherwise, but still getting the Agatu fight. And now it's off to hear what Ganon has to say for himself today. Today, Ganon says to us, "You think you're so smart, I bet you didn't know you can hold your nose while I couldn't read the rest of that sentence." Something about holding your nose while doing something. Hum while holding your nose. Thank you, Chad. But yeah, Dapper having absolutely no trouble whatsoever getting Ganon to phase 3 here thanks to Buttersword. Getting fairly cooperative teleports too. Also, Dapper is not healed. Okay, now Ganon's being uncooperative with all the teleports. Alright, Dapper gets the double. Let's get Ganon a little closer, and then fire off a double from here, and that should be GG. Dapper keeping everybody on edge here, but pulls off a solid win on this race. Get your GG's in chat for Dapper Warman, who, barring some kind of disaster on this 1x3 bridge, will be finishing this race. That is going to be first on Restream, but also first in the race time room with an official race time GG time of 1:21:18. By the way, B-Torque was here. That being said, folks, a GG's to Dapper. We will see if he would like to join us for an interview in just a moment. But yeah, big break for Dapper. Definitely dipping Pentonmeyer when he did. Because that got him Kane early. Convinced to route places like Ice a little bit more conveniently. Oop. Sorry, chat. Smirk's a little on the quiet side. And yeah, chat brings up another good point. Something else saving Dapper time was skipping pod, because that ultimately ended up having nothing. Now that being said, Smirk's not too far behind here, about to grab Moldorm's last possessions and then go straight for Aga. Hydra, on the other hand, has finished off Swamp and is on his way to GT. Sandra's is on the way to Trinex, who will be getting Mirror momentarily. Dapper, welcome to the booth, and GG to you. Congratulations.
Hello, thank you.
So you had some fairly great routing on this seed, all things considering. A lot of things that saved you time was you were one of the first runners to dip Pendant Mire, which led you to Kane very quickly.
Yeah, that was kind of a, I don't know, call it a meta play or something like that. Just like, you know, I'm here, I've got the medallion, got the fire source in the lamp, might as well go in there and see what Mire has. Takes doesn't take a lot of time to go in there and dip that if you don't have the red cane, because you don't have to beat the boss. And then I said, well, got the cane, might as well beat the boss because I'm here anyway.
Indeed. Yeah, what ended up also saving you a lot of time is you also never you're the only runner who didn't dip pendant pod. And that led to a book, which didn't lead to too much bait from our runners, but them clearing out pod did take a lot of time.
Oh yeah, I mean, when I got go mode and I saw I hadn't dipped pot, I was like, that's not something a lot of runners are going to do probably. So that felt good as well.
Yeah, I'm trying to think a couple of other things. You all sort of met up at East Death Mountain after picking up Hookshot off of Stumpy. And you all sort of followed the same path after that, dipping Tower of Hera, clearing out East Death Mountain, getting Ether, which ended up being the jackpot medallion for the day. But yeah, after that, you chose to take the gamble into Mire, which we did say earlier that if anybody was going to do that, it was going to be a bit of a gamble play, and it turned out to be a good gamble today. Other than that, the seed, it's pretty much spelt itself out. You know, not the most trolly out there besides Mirror on Trinex.
Yeah, if you skip Skullwoods, you're going to have a bad day today, I think, though.
Very true, yeah. Our runners didn't really do that for too long. Hydra and either Hydra or Sanders, I can't remember which, did leave Skullwoods off for some time. But it didn't end up being the biggest deal because they ended up going there before Turtle Rock anyway.
Yeah, that makes sense with the Fire Rod. Oh, nice Ganon kill there by Smirk.
Indeed, Smirk is going to be the next to cross the 1x3 bridge here, and Hydra is, in the meantime, clearing out GT. You definitely put your early safety fairy to work there on the Trinex fight.
Yeah, that just went off the rails real quick. That did not feel good, but I knew I had that fairy.
Yeah, you gave us a good scare at the end, too, hanging onto that Ganon fight with a heart and a half. We know you had a blue potion in your pocket still, but even still.
Yeah, that was a little hairy.
All right, Smirk gets second place on Restream, second overall with an official race time GG time of 1:26.10. Smirk, GG to you. Welcome to the booth.
Thank you. GG's, Dapper Warman.
GG, Smirk.
Got to snipe someone.
Yes, you did. You sniped High Ruler, who finished in third with an official race time GG time of 1:26.47. So very close finishes between the two of you.
It's revenge because he beat me in Kaz Boots in the league. So.
I see. Well, that being said, so main difference, Smirk, between you and Dapper is Dapper. You both actually ended up going through Mire at roughly the same time to get Kane, but Smirk, you went and dipped into Pod. Dapper did not. Dapper, as they say in Ocarina of Time Randomizer, rushed ice.
Okay. Yeah, I went into Pod and I found the book there, and that led me to Desert. So I missed out on the mirror to Desert potential.
Yeah,
there wasn't anything else in Pod, right?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
But yeah, the start was actually one of the more open starts, because even though Zelda's or Hyrule Castle for the most part had nothing until the very end, Dark World access was pretty quick soon after. Like Hammer Glove, Moon Pearl was in race game. There was a pretty stacked Kakariko, so yeah, your options were open, and everybody did split out quite nicely at the start. We had like let me think. We had some runners go to High Cave. Hydra went to Stumpy first and got Hookshot and cleared out East Death Mountain earlier, but unfortunately fell into the pod trap, as well as I believe Hydra was a little bit on the later side to Ice Rod as well, but ultimately that ended up not being the biggest detriment. since the only thing that was good for was mirror at the end, which was literally everybody's go mode.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, I thought the ice rod was a pretty good find in Skullwood, so I didn't want to go any further in there.
Same.
Yeah, so I was like, well, better just go do crystals as fast as I can now, so... until things started getting pretty barren, then I was like, well, I'm gonna go check my area, and if I have the medallion for Meyer, I might as well dip it since I don't have the mirror anyway, and I have to save and quit. I'm like, might as well go in.
Yeah,
And
I
I was
had the
very,
same thought.
very glad. Yeah, I was glad I did.
Did you beat the boss too?
No, I didn't. I got Kane and I said bye.
Nice. Yeah, I had so much left. Like, I still didn't have bombos or fire rod, and was thinking maybe one of those would be there, but
You mean green pendant?
yeah, I did beat the green pendant because I was still looking for a number of items at that time.
Gotcha.
Especially without, I don't know if you had book at that point or whatever, if you did pod, but
No, I didn't. Not yet.
got it.
Yeah, I was like, Canis Maria, that's too good a find. I'm out. And then I went, like, I was like, okay, so I found an Ice Rod in Skullwoods, a Canis Maria in Meyer. There's got to be something in Pod. And I didn't have Bombos or Fire Rod either. So I went to Pod. And that's when I got the book, which led me to Desert, which in turn led me to the Bombos medallion, which was in Agina all along. So kind of like, if I had done Agina earlier, then yeah, I probably would have like made the ice play instead of Pod, but I didn't. So
Yeah, honestly, I think I was going to do pod, but then I ended up finding Bombos before I went there. I just decided to do a little bit more overboard clearing. So I would have found that book in pod too, but just went right to Bombos.
Nice. I felt pretty good about execution today. I think I played pretty well for the most part. I mean, I had like, you know, your typical bonking here and there, and my controller's being annoying, so sometimes it'll like input one of those directionals and it stinks when it happens, but besides that, I was pretty happy. My GT climb was good. Oh, and I think my headphones just died. Like, I can't hear anything, so...
Oh dear.
Uh-oh.
That could be a problem.
Well, hopefully I'm not interrupting anyone. GG's again to Dapper Wormman, and soon to Sandrace and Hydropower. Thank you guys for doing this restream. Really appreciate it. Thanks for commentating and the trackers, and thanks to Speed Gaming for putting this together. Yeah, so I'm gonna go. Sorry. Okay. Bye. Thanks again.
Bye, Smirk. Hopefully your headphones don't become an issue for too long. Oh dear. Don't you hate it when technical disasters happen, folks? Never a good time.
Oh yeah.
That being said, yeah, Hydra's about to wrap up here. Is on the Ganon fight. Dapper, I don't have anything else I want to tell you. But yeah, the seed. Yeah, this was a fairly, I wouldn't call it straightforward seed, but yeah, you definitely made a lot of good calls in this one, and it definitely worked to your benefit. That's for sure.
Yeah, so you had a good mix of stuff in the overworld and stuff in the dungeons. You know, you don't want to see one that's too heavily, you know, just go to your dungeons or just it's all in overworld and people make bad route decisions on that. So this kind of had a little bit of everything.
Indeed. Bit of a late GT big key though, but it could have been, you know, it could have been Tire Room, could have been Bob. No, it was Bob. Could have been Ice Armos. That being said, folks, that was the first silver into Ganon there. Alright, so yeah, Hydra will be finished real soon here. That doesn't look like a good position for a double. Oh, never mind, it doesn't need to be. results were pretty nice today too, all things considering.
Yeah, looks like everybody ended up on gold and silvers. And GG's to Hydropower there.
Yeah, Hydra's going to be third on Restream, fourth overall with a time of 1:34.05. Sandra's not too far behind here, just needs to finish up GT, get the big key, and then that's going to be all she wrote for this race.
Well, thanks again for Restream and commentary and tracking and everybody. I am going to take off here, but hope you all have a good rest of your day.
You too. Have a great weekend. Thank you for coming out for us today. All right, chat. So as we are wrapping things up here, we are gonna stick around to the end. Let Sandra's come in. Hopefully, actually, I think Hydropower preemptively at the start of the race said he was not going to join for interviews, if memory serves. Yeah, Hydropower did say he was going to decline an interview, so... That being said, we will wait this out till the end here. But as we are starting to close things out, folks, again, follow our four runners, Dapper Warman, Sandra316, Smirk JB, and Hydropower78. They have all put on a fantastic show for you here on this Friday afternoon. Great start to the weekend with some good ALTTPR. And another big shout out we want to give is to our trackers today, Hugo and Jinxie Girl, for their fantastic work pressing all the buttons and making sure everybody knows who has what. The unsung heroes of SG Randomizer and Restreaming. That being said, looks like Sandra's is about to find the big key, and he'll be making his way up GT. And that's it for Sandra's. He is on his way out. That being said, as far as races coming up for the weekend, I think the only race next on our to-do list that's immediately on notice is the Open Weekly race on Sunday afternoon. That is November 6th at 5:30 p.m. Eastern. What other fancy stuff do we got going on? What's the story for SMZ3? I'm now curious. If you folks are interested action, more Link to the Past rando action from that way. Let's see. It doesn't look like we're gonna get. We might not get a restream for tonight's 8 p.m. race. If we get a race for Sunday afternoon, which would be also November 6th at 3 p.m., that would be normal all dungeons. So that would be Sunday at 3 p.m. And then some hard launching stuff for the day after, Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. So, yeah, lots of... I should also note that... please compensate accordingly on those Sunday races, because clocks do go back an hour for anybody who does do daylight savings time, at least here in the US. So please bear that in mind. Anything else on the other SG channels coming up today? Ooh, we've got Metroid Fusion Randomizer at 5:30 p.m. on SG3. The ALTTP League continues with another match on SG2 at 5:10 p.m. That's going to be... yeah, there's a couple matches going on that front. That being said, Sanders is now almost finished with this GT climb. Oh no, Moldorm 2 takes another victim today. I believe that's now 2 victims Moldorm's taken so far today. Almost took a third one just then. Getting a little bit knocked around here, but gets around no problem otherwise. And it's time for Sandra's Aga 2 fight. Everybody having a hard time with that first Aga 2 pattern. And yeah, these patterns are not cooperative. Especially since the second attack is a blue ball. Alright, off to the Ganon fight. And once again, Ganon's gonna tell us about not being able to hum while holding your nose. Admittedly, I was hoping to go into either CGI Ganon or Spaceballs, but oh well, the randomizer decided we're not gonna have that kind of fun today. Sandra's electing to be a little conservative with HP here and use the Magic Cape in order to deal with Phase 2. Unfortunately, we do have to deal with a bit of a myriad of teleports here before Sandra's gets the fourth. Excuse me, gets the fourth hit here. Sanders, though, gets Torch Glitch. I was about to say, I think Sanders got knocked towards the top and took a fall and a death at the same time. Which actually might have been faster. I think I can use the phrase, I ain't even mad, that's amazing. Yeah, I'm pretty sure taking the death there while falling saved time. Yeah, everybody playing gutsy today. Sandra's having the blue potion on standby just in case something goes wrong here. And decides to go ahead and drink it now. These teleports being a lot less cooperative on this second fight. Ooh, unfortunately, Sandra's not getting Torch Glitch on the second pass here. Alright, that's 1 silver down, 3 to go. Alright, this should be only 1. Yeah, not enough time for 2. 1 more silver should do it. Ooh, good position. Right in front of the bridge. Sandra's eliminating Ganon in a fit of rage. Or just an excessive amount of sword slashes. But either way, that is going to do it. And Sandra's crosses the finish line with a 1:46.16, and that is going to do it for this race today, folks. So GG's to all of our runners. As we put the bow on this edition of A Link to the Past Randomizer. We will see if Sandra's wants to join for an interview real quick, though, and it looks like that is the case. Sandra's GG, and welcome to the booth.
I don't even.
There were a few things about the seed. The mirror on Trinex didn't help.
The near vanilla cane didn't help.
Yeah, that's what Dapper and Smirk got the upper hand on, especially as they both got Kane a lot earlier. Dapper also never went to Pod, so never got baited by the book.
It was like I should go to Meyer. I never went to Meyer until I exhausted every other option. Like the second I got Ether, it's like go to Meyer. It was like just banging away in my head.
Oh dear. Yeah. Other than that, especially in the early game, everybody sort of met up in the East Death Mountain climb. So after picking up Poke from Stumpy, literally everyone went to East Death Mountain. Everybody got Ether. Quake was in Hype Cave. And after that, that's where the divergence really started to happen. But yeah, this was a fairly open start with Dark World at CAC, basically.
Yeah, like I said, it was like I don't even, and then that has never happened. That Ganon death, that has never happened. I'm glad it did. It was a lot faster than dealing with going all the way around. I'm like that was new.
We were about to say, yeah, it's like it took a fall and a death, but somehow that ended up working out a little better.
Yeah, as I rage slashed my entire way through the Ganon fight.
Yeah. Agatu was unfortunately not too cooperative with everybody. Those patterns were really bad. I don't have any particular questions for you. Yeah, no, I don't think I've got anything else to say that hasn't already been said at this point. Anything else you want to add?
That was probably one of my worst executed races ever. And Casual Boots doing what Casual Boots does to me. Tease me with a very fast seed, end up hour 45.
Oh dear.
Always with Kaz Boots. Always.
Well, nonetheless, GG, and thank you for coming out today.
Thanks. I got work to do now.
No worries, we'll leave you to that. And folks, I think we're going to close things out here as we wrap things up. So again, a shout outs to our forerunners, Dapper Warman, Sanders316, Smirk JD, and Hydropower78 for their wonderful performance for you on this Friday afternoon. And a very special thank you to our trackers, Hugo J. Maya and Jinxie Go, for their help clicking all the buttons, making sure everybody knows who has what. We will be back with the weekly open weekly race on Sunday afternoon at 5:30 p.m. Eastern, channel to be determined. Stay tuned for that. I am Captain MD. I've been your commentator today. And with that said, folks, we thank you for watching. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you next time. Take care.